Okay. Hi, everyone. Happy weekend. Welcome to a Girl in Love with Tech podcast. My name is Rachel Rabo. I'm a Power Platform developer, a Power Platform advocate, and a Microsoft Learn student ambassador. Today, our guest for today is Mayua, who is a business transformation analyst. Like, this is the first time I've heard about a business transformation analyst, and it's quite very interesting. So, today we are going to be talking about his experience, like his day to day work experience with Microsoft Power Platform. Hi, Mayua.
Hi, Rachel. Good evening. Good
Hi,
morning.
good evening. Yeah. Okay, please, if you can introduce yourself to our listeners.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, anywhere you are. My name is Ugbeidi Maiwa. I'm a business transformation analyst at VFD Tech. Basically, what I do as a business transformation analyst is to basically improve internal processes by utilizing the skills that are available to me. And in this instance, it's the Microsoft Power Platform. So basically, I automate business processes, build low code apps to basically make the people within my company's life easier. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
basically
Life is yeah. Yeah. That's amazing, Maiwa. Like I love that phrase. Make their life easier because that's the you understand. That's what we're trying
yeah,
to talk about here. You get so especially for those who are listening, like me, you gave an explanation of a business transformation analyst. Like how do you
yeah.
think do you have to be into data to be a business transformation analyst?
So basically, I think that it like depends because a business transformation analyst does not basically depend on the Microsoft Power Platform. You could
Yeah.
also be involved in other skills, but as long as you are basically making the processes within where you are
Okay.
seamless, you are basically a business transformation analyst. So you
Okay.
could also learn other skills and
Yeah.
still be termed a business transformation analyst. But in my
Okay.
instance, I'm a business transformation analyst that basically utilizes the Microsoft Power Platform, mainly Power Apps and Power Automate to make, like I said, the lives of the
Yeah.
people within my companies easier.
Okay, thank you very much. Because when you said an analyst, I was quite confused. I was thinking maybe, we have business
Yeah.
analysts. So I was thinking, okay,
Yes.
maybe they just joined it together and stuff like that. But that is quite amazing, Maiwa.
Yeah.
And there's a question I have to ask you. I want to ask, like, for our listeners, maybe this is their first time hearing about Power Platform and they want to know what
Yeah.
is Power Platform. Can you please give them to know what is Power Platform?
So the Microsoft Power Platform, what I usually term it is like a suite of applications that basically work together, and
Yeah.
they have different functions. Basically, we have Power Apps, which is basically used for
Yes.
building low code application. We
Yeah.
have Power Automate, which is basically used to streamline and automate business processes. We also have virtual agents, which basically deals with creating virtual agents. We also have the newly introduced Power Pages,
Yeah.
which is for basically building low code websites. Then we
Yes.
have the probably the most popular among them, Power BI, which is
Yeah.
basically for for
Yeah.
business and BI developers for building dashboards, which enables
Reports. Yeah.
people to interact with data and actually see and understand what's going on within their company. That's when it like comes to the data side. So yeah,
Yeah.
those collection of apps together are termed the Microsoft Power Platform. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you
and they
very much.
basically like yeah.
Okay, sorry.
There you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayowa. Like you said Power Platform is a low code tool. You is a low code platform. You mentioned the different tools in Power Platform, and there's also one great thing to notice about Power Platform is that even developers, like any person, can use it. Like right now, you're a business transformation analyst, and you are using Power
Yeah,
Platform, and we have so many developers. Like, does not really depend on your background or your career. It just helps you to make things faster, like makes your life easier. Yeah.
yeah,
So
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So
basically
there's
makes your life easier.
yeah, and it's awesome. Yeah. There's also a question I want to ask, like how did you get started with using Power Platform?
Okay, so I basically got started using the Microsoft Power Platform in the third year of my university. I was
Wow. Okay.
introduced to it through an event
Yeah.
at my school, which they brought Dij Folarin, who's an MVP, to come and
Okay.
speak about Power BI. So Power BI was basically my first introduction to the Microsoft Power Platform.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically since then I just like ventured into it, tried to know more about
Yeah.
it. I started by making dashboards and reports, and I started, then I embarked on my certification journey. Basically, I started with the most basic of them all, which was my PL 900.
Yeah, that's true.
Then I started moving up. I did AI 900, AZ 900.
Okay.
Basically, when I was done after university, I got a job as an intern position as an RPA developer, which
Okay.
now made me utilize another aspect of the Microsoft Power Platform, which is the Power Automate desktop, for
Yeah.
basically for basically automating for basically building robotic processes to streamline processes within an organization. And since then, I've basically been learning. I basically
Yeah.
kept studying and learning more. And
Yes.
I think by this year, I'd basically cleared all the certifications in the Microsoft
Wow.
Power Platform space.
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah,
Congrats.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
that's basically how I've been basically just basically how I got introduced into the Microsoft Power Platform space, where I basically joined the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador community in my
Wow.
school also.
Yeah,
So
congrats.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's it.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing, Mayowa. I love that. I love your journey. I love how you kept learning. You kept taking certifications. Like when you are
Yeah,
learning, you have to show that, okay, what am I learning? Is there proof to show that I'm actually learning? You understand?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to ask another question. Like, what is your day-to-day experience using the tools in Microsoft Power Platform?
Okay, so my day-to-day experience as a business transformation analyst, basically what I do is what I do. Obviously you wake up in the morning, you attend meetings, you get the business requirements of what they are trying to automate in my company. Okay, Rachel is back. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm back.
like like I mentioned, like I was saying, basically my day to day as a business
Yes.
transformation analyst is basically wake up, attend meetings, get business requirements of what they would like to
Yeah.
automate, and think about it, think through it, whether it's possible or it's not, and then communicate it back to the stakeholders, and then come up with a solution design, and then basically communicate it to the stakeholder if that would be okay with them. And in terms of let's say for example, I'm working on a Power Apps project. After like deciding and having interaction with the stakeholder, I would then, if they basically approve that project, I'll move on to a UI UX designer. So basically, me and the UI UX designer would go over what the Power Apps that I intend to build would look like,
Okay.
and then basically run them through some functionalities that I would expect from the app, basically the layout of the app also, and
Yeah.
basically tell them some restrictions that they should, basically telling them not to go overboard. But yeah, basically that, and then after that, I'll just move on to developing the application basically.
Okay, like what you, I sorry, I did not really get much of what you said. The few I
Yeah.
got, you said you give them advice on not to go overboard. You help with giving them
Yes.
advice. You help with building the application. So I want to
Yes.
ask, like, when you say giving an advice, what do you mean by that?
So basically, because of UI UX, basically UI UX designers are not
Yeah,
that familiar with the Power Apps, because Power App, let's say, like I mentioned, let's say for example,
yeah,
I'm building a new Power App
okay,
project, and then they are basically not usually familiar with Power Apps. They are more in
yes,
tune to will I say more native developments.
yeah,
So
okay,
basically, I have to tell them about, okay, this is how the Power Apps orientation is, introduce
okay,
them to the look and feel of Power Apps, so they'll be able to better understand what they are creating for me. Basically, the designs that they are creating for me that will not actually transition into a Power
okay.
Apps. So yeah, that's what I mean, like guiding them through it.
Okay, that's great then, because the parts where you say you talk to them about users experience, because
Yeah.
even in Power Platform, like there's so many things I've noticed about Power Platform. I noticed that when you are using Power Platform, there's so many things involved. Like you
Yeah.
got to think about the user's experience. You got to recently I got to know that you have to think about the like maybe there is a maybe you're using Dataverse for instance, and you have to think
Yeah.
about the relationship between tables.
Yeah.
You have to think about
True.
you have to think about what is supposed to be in those tables. Like maybe you have like a user story you're working on, and there are so many things involved. You have to think, critical thinking comes into place. You also have to think
Yeah.
about accessibility. You have to think, okay, as I'm building this application, I have to think about my users. Is this application, is it accessible for them? Can they actually use this application? So there are so many things that comes into place into building
Yeah.
Power
So
Platform.
yeah, so you basically have to think about how a user would use the application and also like try to make the application not so stressful to that individual. It should be an
Yeah.
application that is easy to navigate and easy
Yes.
to basically do the operations that it was intended for.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much. Especially that part of
Mm.
easy, like it has to be easy for the user. I don't have to get a manual. like
Yeah,
I
to
don't
use the
have to
application.
yeah, I don't have to get a manual in order to use your application, you understand? Because I'm the
That's
end
true.
user, you get. So there's one other thing I want to ask, like especially for our listeners, maybe those who have that's mind that okay, since I'm in a different career, I can't come into Power Platform. So what can you say to them that do you think that Power Platform is for everyone? Like anybody in their career paths, can they use the tools in Power Platform?
Yeah, so I basically think Power Platform is basically for everyone. Like I studied physics in uni and I'm
Yeah.
a Power Platform developer. I've known
Okay.
people that probably did different things. They
Yeah.
study different things in uni and they are Power Platform developers. So the
Okay.
beautiful thing about Power Platform it's that it's a low code development platform. Doesn't like probably require you to come from a specific background. I mean, if you come from a coding background, it's good. It's
Yeah.
another
You guys.
added advantage to you. But that
Yeah.
doesn't
True.
mean those that don't come from a traditional coding background are lacking from you. Like what you
Yeah.
basically need when you come into the Power Platform is like you mentioned, actually critical thinking,
Yes.
and basically it's a low code development, not low code, because people tend to
Yeah.
confuse
yeah.
those together. So it's a low code development platform. Before you know it, you would actually get used to it, and you'll be a Power
Yeah.
Platform developer. So it's not like something you overthink about it. You just like get into it, and when you
Yeah.
get into it, the Power Platform actually has a very very let's say cool environment that wouldn't overwhelm you actually. So you
Yeah.
just have to give yourself time, and before you know it, you actually be automating processes and building low code applications.
Yeah, that's true. And there's like what you said, like you can come from any background. You can be a
Yeah,
developer, you can be a data analyst, whatsoever background you are coming from. And you can actually use the tools in Microsoft Power Platform. So and like it's you can take your time. You don't have to think so much like, okay, it's like this process, I'm new to it, or maybe this is the first time I'm hearing about it. How am I going to go? How am I going to learn? There are resources online. You understand? There are so
yeah,
many resources online. Like Microsoft Learn has resources and they are free. They are
yes,
free. We have YouTube. You can check on YouTube. We have LinkedIn Learning. We have so many platforms where you can actually go through Microsoft Power Platform and even resources that you can go through it for free. And so many people in the community who are posting resources on Microsoft Power Platform.
yeah,
So there's also one thing to know to like to be aware is that wherever you're starting from, like wherever you're starting from, you don't have to be scared. You just have to move forward, think about your learning, work on it, and also build projects. You understand? As you
yeah,
can see, Mayowa is a business transformation analyst.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah, Mayowa is a business transformation analyst and he's doing amazingly well in his career, which is actually really great. And he's working with Power Platform. So, Shay, have heard there's actually business transformation analysts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach out to Mayowa, you want to ask him about you want to ask him any questions, you can actually reach out to him on LinkedIn or on Twitter. I'm going to add the description to this post. Okay, I think we have. Okay, I think we have on the comments we have Oluwatobi Paul. He said it is really nice hearing your story, Mayowa. Yeah, thank you very much,
Thank
Paul.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so do you have anything to say to our listeners before we end the podcast?
All right. So I know that people tend to get a little scared when they are thinking of transitioning into the power platform space. Like, for
Yeah,
example, what are the career options that are limited? So I can tell you, for a matter of fact, in Nigeria currently, there are,
yeah,
will I say, there are openings for power platform there, but they are not like skilled power platform developers yet. So there's
yeah,
basically companies that are looking for power platform developers, but they are currently a shortage of power platform developers in Nigeria. So, and then you probably be thinking about companies that
yeah,
are probably thinking, oh, it's probably just small companies. I can tell you for a fact, like
yeah,
Chevron, companies like AXA, and other companies like even banks, they make use of power
yes,
platform developers. And obviously obviously you would not see this posting basically. So there's one thing also that you need to note: as long as you are learning and building projects, you should also
yes,
be able to clearly showcase yourself out by networking with people, and then also like your social media places like
okay.
LinkedIn,
Yeah, that's
Twitter.
true.
Show you're learning, show what you're
Yeah,
learning, show what you're building. Also
yeah,
share your certifications, because
yeah, that's very true.
even if you are so good and you keep yourself locked in your house, nobody's going to know about you.
Yes, you are selling fish. Nobody will know you are selling fish.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
need to push yourself out there. You need to push yourself out there and make yourself known, while also keep learning and developing yourself. And before you know, you will be working at this big organization, and what
yeah.
and like what my friends like to say, you'll be collecting a rubber salary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just depends on hard work,
yeah,
patience. Like you have to be passionate about your learning because most times when you see something that is difficult or you feel tired, just have to continue pushing. There might be a lot of things which might just come and just be like different difficulties, you understand,
yeah,
maybe in our
yeah,
personal life, stuff like that. So you just have to keep on moving and think of, okay, I'm not doing this for anyone, I'm actually
yeah,
doing it for myself, you
for
understand.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's one perfect thing to notice too. Like there's one thing you mentioned too about Nigeria. Like I've gotten a lot of questions where people ask me like, if I learn Power Platform, am I going to get a job in Nigeria? Or I've been looking for jobs for Microsoft Power Platform and I have not gotten anyone. You understand? I've seen a lot of questions like that. But you can get jobs on Power Platform. Go to LinkedIn, you can check on LinkedIn, you see jobs on Microsoft Power Platform. And if you say you want to get a job in Nigeria, there's a way they do it on LinkedIn where you get to search the job and you can search it with the country, like with the location. You guys get to search it with the location and
yeah,
you get to see a job, you understand, and you
yeah,
apply. So it's not really difficult, and there are so many opportunities. There are even some jobs that they don't announce on LinkedIn.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I've seen some of them on Twitter, like maybe they
Some
reach
are
out to
based
you.
on some are based on like referrals, and like I said, when you actually put yourself out there, and then
Yeah,
probably someone has seen your profile before, and then
yeah,
a new job just comes in, and then it immediately comes to their mind. So like I
yeah.
literally mentioned before, you need to put yourself out there to get all these type of
Opportunities.
opportunities. And you also need to build relationships with people within the community, because there are
Yeah,
some jobs that don't actually get to like public knowledge. It's just like, oh, my HR is looking for a BI developer, and you're very good
okay.
in Power BI. Obviously,
Yeah,
they recommend you. My HR is
yes.
looking for someone that's good in Power Automate. Obviously, they recommend you. So, like
Recommending,
I
yeah.
said, so you basically put
Yeah.
yourself out there, and before you know, you'll be having like basically I finished my service last year, and I
Yeah.
was at a
Congrats.
company.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I was at a company before, but like I didn't actually even have to start submitting my CV anywhere. I just like someone just asked for my CV, and then I submitted it.
Oh,
And before you know, I was having an interview with the company I'm working for and then getting the job. So
Yeah.
some jobs are usually based on referrals. Like
Referral.
when you when you put yourself out there, before you know it, somebody is going to send your CV to someone and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
check out this person. This person might actually be good," and then yeah, you improve yourself and sell yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true, Maiwa. And that's a very good advice. Because there's even one thing to notice, like most people, they are not aware that Power BI is part of Power Platform.
Yeah, that's true because
Yeah,
Power BI tends to outshine everybody else in the Power Platform
yeah,
suite of applications. Like I said previously, the most popular among the Power Platform, Power BI.
yeah, it's
So
Power BI.
people don't really like know about Power Apps, but that's actually changing a lot now because
Yeah, it's changing,
the
yeah.
traditional way of building apps that takes about 6 months, and then
Yeah,
you go into an organization and you're able to build what they actually want in an application in a month's time. So people are basically leaning towards the
yeah.
low code
Low code.
application because
Yeah.
they already have the license. You already have
Yes.
it already. So why not
Yeah.
just utilize it? So that's
Work
why
on it.
companies are actually looking for Power Platform developers. Like we already
Yeah.
have this tool, we're already paying for it, but we're not utilizing it. So let's employ someone that will utilize it and
Utilize
make
it.
our process efficient
Yeah.
and easier for our employees. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much, Maiwa. And there's also one
Yeah,
thing to
thank you,
notice,
Rachel.
like, yeah, from the so you have noticed what Maiwa have said. If you are using Power BI, you're actually still using Power Platform. You are part of Power
Yeah.
Platform. And there's one thing I love that Microsoft did. Like, if you want to learn Microsoft Power Platform, you can actually create an account, a Microsoft 365, a Microsoft, yeah, a E5 developer license that is free,
Yeah, developer
and
accounts.
a developer account where you get to learn build with Power Platform, the tools in Power Platform, which is Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Pages, Power BI, and Power Visual Agent, all for free. Like, you don't have to pay for it. You get to use a free license to learn and stuff like that. So I thank you everyone for listening to this podcast. And if you want to reach out, don't forget to reach us on LinkedIn and also on Twitter. Thank you very much and have a lovely weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks for having me, Rachel, and thank you everyone for joining this space.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mayua. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
Bye.